Hello, welcome guys. Today you see your one and only Ceefashion Academy. Today I'll be doing the continuation. We already have it. See, if you want to know how we cut this particular trouser, please I want you to check in the description box. You will see the link there, or you can also go to my videos and see how we made this trouser, how we cut this trouser. So today I'll be teaching you guys how to couple this trouser and get a well finished trouser from this. So first thing we are going to do, but before we go into our topic today, please I want you guys to make sure you go and subscribe. Make sure you like this video, because the more you like this video, the more others get to see it. Make sure you like this video, please. Okay, so let's dive into today's topic. So today we are going to couple this trouser. We're going to sew it. So I'm going to teach you each and every, and I'm going to guide you from step one to the step, to the end part of this particular trouser. So next thing we are going to do now is to first, before you couple any trouser, especially trousers like this, if you want to make it like a ready to wear, first thing I need all of us to do is to make sure we do what? We weave it. Make sure you do what? You weave it. What do I mean? Make sure you do what? You interlock, you overlock it. Make sure you weave it. That is the, for me, I think that is the best way of making this kind of trousers. It helps your work to be very, very neat. There are many ways which you can make trousers. You can either weave it immediately, weave everything immediately, or you can either be sewing and be weaving at the same time. Do you understand? So, or you can either do what? Finish your sewing and now weave. Now, for me, I prefer the first one, the one you weave before you do what? You start sewing. Now, by special grace of God, I have the weaving machine here, so I'm going to weave this thing. When I finish weaving it, then I now show us the next step too. Okay guys, as you can see, we are done doing the weaving. As you can see, look at it very well. We are done doing the weaving. Look at it very well. So next thing we are going to do now is to do what? Is to what? Sew out the dart. But before you sew out the dart, please remember, I'm kind of duplicating this particular trouser. Look at it. So I'm just following everything on this trouser. So what we need to do is to do what? Mark out our what? Darts. Now, for those that don't know how to get your dart on trousers, please look at it now. You have to learn it now. Now look at it. This ghetto line is the dart for the what? Front part. Now for you to get the back part, all you need to do is to do what? Trace through the what? Ghetto line. You now get a back part. Are you seeing it? So that is how to get the dart. Okay, so next thing we are going to do now is to mark the dart depth. Now for the sake of this particular tutorial, I'm going to use 4 inches for the what? Dart depth. Now look at it. You mark what? 4 inches. Please do the same thing on the other part. Look at it. Do the same thing on the other part. Are you seeing it? Mark also what? 4 inches. Okay, so do the same thing at the back. Mark what? 4 inches, and also mark what? 4 inches. Please note, it's not on every trouser we put that both in front and the back, but for the sake of this particular trouser that I'm duplicating, that's why I'm putting that both on front and the back. And now, while sewing the dart, please, while sewing it, you can use either ½ inch or less than ½ inch, depending on how you're working on the fabric. Do you understand? So, but the standard for you to use is what? ½ inch. See what I mean by ½ inch? This is how you sew it. Put it, when you put it on the machine, you measure from here to here ½ inch. Now sew it gradually get to this point, and you do what? You tack it. That is what we are going to. So I want you to follow me to the machine and see how I do that. Okay, as you can see, it's now time to sew the what? Dart. Now look at it. Are you seeing it? You now measure that your ½ inch. You measure that your what? You mark out that your ½ inch. Now start from here. Next thing you need to do, first of all, do what? Tack it, please. Most people used to skip this tacking. Tack it. Like that is match your front, go front and back at the same time. Stitching on top of a particular place 2 times, tacks it. Okay, so next thing you need to do is to do what? Follow the slanted line and do what? Sew. Now go gradually, please. Go gradually. Then when you reach at that point, which you mark that 4 inches, please, you also do what? Tack it again. And please, I advise, while sewing a dart, make sure your stitch length is small. What do I mean? Make sure your stitch length is small. As in, make sure your stitch is tiny. Do you understand? So that it can give you a safe dart. Now look at it now. Are you seeing it? This dart is very nice and good. Now look at it. Are you seeing it? It's very nice. Okay, look at the dart very well. So you can see it's very nice. It's a nice dart. So that is how you do it. So you do this thing on all the parts we marked for the dart. Okay. Okay guys, as you can see, after you finish darting, next thing you need to do is to do what? Iron. Now for you to really iron, you can start from the back. Is make sure that your iron is not too hot, because when your iron is too hot, it can burn your clothes. It can also condemn your clothes or give a mark that you don't really like. Okay, so after you finish ironing the back, now as you can see, as I'm ironing, I'm placing another material on top. This is to avoid the iron condemning my fabric. Do you understand? Okay, these safety precautions are very, very okay. It's very, very nice. Okay, do the same thing at the front part. As you can see, this is the dart part. Do the same thing at the front part. Iron very well. As you can see, we are done ironing and our dart looks so perfect. So when you finish this ironing the dart, please do the same thing on all the darts. Make sure you iron properly. Okay. Okay, now so the next stage now is to put the side pockets. How are we going to put the side? Because I want you guys to focus very well and watch this. Make sure you learn from this. Don't skip this, because when you skip it, you lose so many important tips. So putting the side pocket, if you want to put the seat, as you can see, this is the front part. Look at it. This is the left right side, and this is the what? Left side of the what? Front trouser. Now what we are going to do, as you can see, this is the what? Pocket that we cut. Please, if you want to know how we cut this pocket, please, I will go to the description box. You see a video how to cut this trouser. Go and watch it to see how we cut this pocket. So okay, as you can see, I've finished weaving the pocket, the pieces for the what? Pocket. Okay, so next thing we are going to do is to do what? We are going to place it in front. Now look at it. This is the wrong side of the pocket. Now look at it. This is the wrong side. Are you seeing it? This is the what? Right side. Now take the right side and face on top of the what? Right side. Now look at it. Right side versus right side. Now place it on top like this. Now not just like this and you'll be seeing extra part of the material. No, place it. See, make sure that this one touches the highest part here. Now look at it. Place it like this and make sure that this one also equals this side. Are you seeing it? So after you finish doing it like this, next thing you are going to do is to do what? Take a pin and what? Hold it. Now after you finish holding it with that pin, next thing you need to do is to turn it like this. Now as you can see how it is. Remember, this trouser has a curve and this one is just straight. That's why you are seeing this SS here. So what we are going to do now is to do what? Mark out for our what? Pocket. Now remember, our pocket is what? 2 inches here. The width here is 2 inches, while the depth is what? 7 inches. Look at it. Okay, let's use 7 inches for the depth. Now look at it, 7 inches. Now, okay, 7 inches. Okay, so next thing you are going to do is what? Take your rule and join this point to this point together. Now look at it. Take your rule and join this point to this point together. Okay. Now when you join it together, you go and the what? Do what? Sew on top of it. That is what we are going to do. Please, whatever you do on this left side, please do it on the right side of the trouser. Sew on top of that line which you marked. Okay, that's what we are doing now. From that 2 inches down to the what? 7 inches. Sew on top of it. Make sure you give a straight line sewing. Now tack. So after you finish sewing, next thing you need to do, which is very, very important for you to do, is to do what? Cut this place out, the SS out. Now look at it. First of all, from here, okay, are you seeing it? First of all, just notch out from here. Look at it, from here to this very part. Then next thing you need to do is to do what? Cut out this very part, remaining either quarter or lesser. Okay, so after you are done, next thing you need to do is to do what? Do this one on the other part of the trouser. Also after that, remove the pin. Then when you remove the pin, are you seeing this very side? Okay, go and iron it out. So we are going to the ironing table now. You are going to do what? Iron it out. Now look at how it works. After you finish ironing it, turn this one towards this side. Now when you turn it, now look at something. We are forming the pocket. Are you seeing it? This is how it works. We are forming the pocket. So first of all, we are going to iron this side out first before any other thing. So let's go. Okay guys, as you can see, next thing we are going to do is to do what? This, are you seeing it? This is where we did the sewing, and next thing you just open it up and do what? Iron. Just make sure you open it up and do what? Iron. Okay, so iron it out, iron it out, It's very, very necessary for you to iron it out. I'm not really comfortable as I am here now because I'm holding my camera and doing this thing at the same time. So you have to do your own better. Iron it out. Be careful with the iron so that it will not burn your clothes. Please be very careful. Professional fashion designers are very careful, always very careful with the iron. Sometimes people will not know that. See, ironing is a very great skill. It's not everybody that really knows how to iron. Iron can really make a difference, like big difference on a cloth. Okay, so now fold it and do what? Are you seeing it? Iron it out again. Are you seeing it? Fold it and do what? Iron it out again. But you don't stop there. There's something I want to show us now. I don't know whether I've really shown us this thing before. By using what we call what? Hemming gum. Okay. Most cases, people that don't know about this hemming gum usually, have difficulties in sewing some certain things. Okay, what you need to do is what? Now look, I want to show us something. Now look at this. This is a hemming gum. Are you seeing it? Hemming gum used to be wider than this, but I had to do what? I had to cut it into two in order to minimize it and in order to not make it to be bulky on the cloth. Now open the middle part of this cloth. Are you seeing it? Now put this one here. Look at it very well. Put it here. When you put it here, reduce it. Let it not be too much. Okay, now close it back. When you close it back, what do you do next? You use your iron and do what? Iron it out. Please, as you're ironing, make sure that this edge is not coming out, is not showing in front. Please make sure of that. Okay, so now iron it out. After you finish ironing it, okay, let me iron it first. Okay, iron it out. After you finish ironing it, next thing you need to do is to do what? See, are you seeing the folding on this particular thing? Now fold it back. Are you seeing it? Fold it back. When you fold it back, what do? You iron again. Okay. Now look at it now. Turn the front part of the You can see the pocket we've already formed the pocket. Now look at it. Are you seeing it? We've already formed the pocket. You can still do what? Take your iron and do what? Iron it out. Please very careful with the iron. I usually mention this. Are you seeing it? So that's what you do. So that's how we create a pocket. So next thing we are going to do now, look at it. Next thing we are going to do now is to do what? Look at it. This is the pocket. Now this is the down side. Are you seeing it? We are going to sew from here. Look at it very well. This is the down side. We are going to sew from here to here. Close it. We are going to close it. We are also going to hold this at the top. See, we are also going to do what? Take a stitch and hold it at the top. And that is it. That is the pocket. Then another thing we need to do is, remember, here is 2 inches. We are going to measure out our 2 inches back and do what? Whatever that is remaining, we use it and do what? Curve it. So that is what we are going to do. So follow me to the machine. Okay, so look at it. I want you guys to look at it now. Now place it like this. See, place it like this. Let these two be equal. That's how it's supposed to be shaped. Now what do? Stitch on top of this in order to close the pocket, so that whenever you put something in your pocket, it will not fall away, it will not fall out. Okay, you can close with either 1/4 inch or 1/2 inch, whichever one you want to use. Whatever I'm doing on this pocket now, always know that I will do the same thing on the other pocket. Okay, so when you finish now, you seeing it, we've closed it. So when you put your hand down, it's safe. Okay, next thing you are going to do is to do what? Place it very well. Make sure it's relaxing very well. And do what? Take a stitch and hold this. Look at it. Take a stitch and do what? Hold the both together by sewing like this. Okay, that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, as you can see, I've done that. Look at it. It's closed now. It's better off now. It's now forming better pocket at the moment. Okay, so next thing you are going to do is to do what? Still the same thing. Now place it very well. Let it relax. Now what are you going to do? Take a stitch and hold here. Then cut off the excess at the top part of that pocket. Okay guys, look at it now. Let it relax very, very well. Look at it. Make sure it's relaxing. Okay, so now you now place your needle on top of it. Make sure it's relaxing, guys. Okay, now do your sewing. Stitch it out. Okay, and we are done. Okay, as you can see now, look at it now. Look at it very well now. Are you seeing it? Okay, and you are seeing an SS here. You are seeing an SS here. So we have to do what? Cut it out. According to the shape of the waist. Okay, so that is it. So here's the pocket. This is really how to make the pocket, but there's something else I've really not shown us here. That is what, remember, initially this our trouser was curved, so and we now use this pocket. Now we now made this pocket. Now after making this pocket, see that is wider than what it's supposed to be. Remember what we used to make the pocket is what? 2 inches width. Are you seeing it? So mark out that 2 inches width. Now also do what? Take your chalk and what? Mark it, curve it exactly to this very point. So what are we going to do now? We are going to take our scissors. Now look at it very well. We are going to take our scissors and do what? Shape it out. So after you finish shaping it, please make sure you weave this place out also. Make sure you weave it out. So that is exactly what we do on this one. That's what we are going to do on the other side. So thank you very much. Let's go over into the next step.